If you are in a dead-end relationship or you're getting out of a dead-end relationship and you are struggling to move on, continue to listen to this podcast. We got some gems in here. We got some real talk in here. We have some vulnerability in here. And we're just going to get into it right now. Welcome back to the Chasing a Greater Vision podcast. I'm your host, Rickey Jasper. Thank you all so much for continuing to watch and support this podcast. This one, we are getting into all the deep nitty-gritty of relationships. We're talking about making an exit strategy for a dead-end relationship, or if you are in or have gotten out of a dead-end relationship and you're struggling to move on, what to do. So there are 4 points, but I'll give them at a high level like I always do for every video. Number 1, accept where your life is right now. Number 2, embrace solitude. Number 3, lead a healthy lifestyle. And number 4, stay patient and be open. Why this topic I think is so important and so interesting is because it's very easy for us to get comfortable in life, in relationships, in things that don't serve us. And it's very easy for us to do consistent habits or do consistent things that are not growing us, that are not fulfilling us. And then we just kind of get in this boring day-to-day lifestyle. When it comes to a relationship, you can have the wrong partner for many different reasons. I have a few notes down here. You all might not align with, what your vision of your life, your, dating, married, engaged life is going to be. You all have very different lifestyles. How you go about your day-to-day could be different. It might be from a religious standpoint. It might be from a political standpoint. Whatever it is that is important to you, it might not be important to the other person, so that adds friction. You might have different family goals and family planning. This is something that we see a lot now where some people really don't want kids, and then there's another party that really does want kids, and then the conversation is, we'll figure that out once we get to that bridge, whatever the saying is. It's escaping my mind right now. Or there might be some toxic traits and some things that deep down is going to end up causing so much friction in the relationship and going to cause so much pain and hurt in the relationship down the road that it's going to really be tough to maintain a relationship. So it's like you see the dead end, but when is it enough? When is it time to, make an exit strategy? When is it time to exit the relationship? Or if you're out of the relationship, how do you function staying away from something that was so addictive before, right? So an exit strategy for a relationship is not just, a physical exit strategy. It's a mental exit strategy. It's emotional. It's almost like a spiritual thing because, you are removing yourself from everything that was, and you're doing a new lifestyle, and you're trying to figure some things out. So we're going to get into it. 4 tips and ways that you can cope with exiting a dead-end relationship, and that you can really get out of it and really see some hope, some light at the end of the tunnel. You can see your next steps, and you can be really excited about it. I think that's the one thing too, is when you see your next steps, you want to be excited about it. Number 1, accept life where it is right now. So if you are having a tough time accepting a breakup, if you're having a tough time accepting the new life change that happened because of a transition of a relationship, then really accepting where it is and trying to focus on the areas in which it went wrong and that it really cannot recover is going to help. I went through something where I'd say like my most traumatic breakup, where me and the other person, we just weren't right for each other. Didn't make her a bad person at all, but I really was in that dating aspect because it boosted my ego at the time. I didn't feel confident in myself. I didn't feel confident in, where my career was going. That person provided me a lot of just ego boost because people were like, oh, if you date her, then great. Like, wow, Rickey, I see you as something, because I didn't feel like that's something myself. So when that thing broke, I couldn't accept it. It probably took me a year and a half to fully, if not more, to just fully accept that the past was the past. And within that year and a half, it hurt so much because me not accepting it was every day trying to chase after something and chase after a feeling and chase after something that was gone. And even if I had it back, it wouldn't be something that really propelled me into a good relationship or made the relationship good in the future. An acceptance aspect is accepting all that is, right? It's accepting that, hey, we had this experience, we had some good times, and we can appreciate that. We had this experience, and there were areas that we grew in, there were areas that we realized that we still need to grow in. But again, we had that experience. And it's also accepting where you are now is, I'm hurt. There's some things that don't feel good right now and that I have to work through, but you don't want to run from that. And I'll talk about that in later points. But what you also don't want to do is you don't want to stay stuck in the past. I do that. I'm a natural get in the past sticker person, right? Any decision that I've ever made, when I make the new decision and I'm doing the new thing, my mind immediately goes to the past was more comfortable. I want to be there instead of just accepting the discomfort of the present moment to make my future better. So accept where your life is right now, even if it doesn't feel good. I promise you it's going to get better over time. And then we're going to get into this next point. Number 2, embrace solitude. Now, this builds off of accepting where you are right now. So if you're someone who cannot be by themselves or be with themselves, this point is definitely going to be for you, because for me, I can embrace solitude and I can be by myself when I get work done, when I'm locked in and focused on something. But in the past, it was hard for me to embrace solitude on times when it wasn't working hours, right? And I've talked about this on past episodes. I filled my time with dating a bunch of women, sleeping around, just doing a bunch of things that I really had no business doing. And so I didn't embrace the solitude, and I wasn't constructive with the time that I actually had to myself that I could have just used to better myself, right? The Raiders, they just fired their head coach. This is interesting. And it's their 8th head coach. They're going on, I think, their 8th or 9th head coach in 11 years. And if you think about it, it's like from one to the other, it seems like there's no learning. It's just, well, we're jumping from one thing to the other, without fully vetting and without kind of taking a step back and saying, let's embrace some solitude. Let's figure out, the pieces that we have. Let's figure out the team that we have. Let's figure out what we need so that when we make our next decision, it doesn't turn up like the last 8 decisions. It turns out being something that this is for the long haul, and this is something that we can build off of. Embracing solitude gives you that time. Instead of just running at the big, shiny object, take a step back, assess yourself, really focus on who you are, who you want to be, and the relationship that you want to be in versus, hey, this is just somebody who is there that I can spend time with. Yeah, no, they don't have anything that, I see going long term, but it helps boost my ego. It helps make me feel comfortable. What happens is you stay in that comfort for too long, and then you realize, wow, you're kind of in this Raider situation where now you're on the 2nd, now you're on the 3rd, and you're wondering why they all look the same. It's because when you jumped into it, instead of really being mindful and thoughtful about why you're there, you just did it for a comfort standpoint. So you want to really embrace the solitude so you can figure out what you want, where you want to be, and who you want to be with, and how you want that to look long term so that your future does not look like your past. Number 3, lead a healthy lifestyle. If you're someone who, when you get out of a relationship, just everything just kind of goes to hell, you want to do the opposite of that, right? Because leading a healthy lifestyle does so much for you. It's a mental thing. It's an energy thing. It's a confidence booster. For me, leading a healthy lifestyle has not been a difficult issue because I saw my parents do it for years. I've consistently had fitness as like the forefront of, my day so that I can feel better, so that I can, just be a better person all around. But I have been through times where I haven't been motivated to live a healthy lifestyle. Living a healthy lifestyle isn't just about, a physical fitness standpoint. It's what you intake. It's what you do. It's how you go through your day. It's if you are getting out of the house, if you are trying to meet new people, right? All of these things are going to be beneficial to you. When you are out of a relationship that's dead end, that doesn't suit you, what you don't want to do is become a hermit. You don't want to just sit back and then all of a sudden close all your doors, close all your windows, not get out, not, eat healthy, not work out, not go meet people, get away from social activities. You want to lead a healthy lifestyle in a way that it's all encompassing of every important aspect of your life. And your healthy lifestyle is going to look different than mine. But identifying what makes you feel good, what makes you feel the most energized, and what helps you get through your day, and doing those things and sticking to those things is going to be important. And I say this all the time. Sometimes you're not going to feel like it. A lot of the things that we do in life that are so important, we don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like getting up early and working out, but I do it because it actually makes me feel so much better on the back end. Halfway through it, I'm like, I'm so happy I did this. When my day gets busy, I'm like, I'm so happy I already got a workout in. In the evening, when I get to spend time with my family here at my house, I'm like, oh, this is so nice because now I don't have to go and put on my workout shorts and go do this thing. So I come back tired and then I don't have energy, right? So leading a healthy lifestyle is going to be important because you are going to show up better than when you're ready to date, when you're ready to re-engage with people. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel so much more energetic. Number 4, stay patient and be open. So if you are anything like me in the past, where you just jump from rebound to rebound relationship, then this one's going to be for you. Rebound relationships are there to help you fill a void that when a person left, you're just putting somebody in the passenger seat. Somebody was in the passenger seat, they got out the car. Now you need somebody to just get in the car so you can feel good again. It boosts your ego, it makes you feel comfortable for a little bit, but it doesn't do a whole lot for a long period of time. You really want to be patient and be open. I've lost 4 jobs in my corporate career, and I've left 2 or 3 other jobs for different opportunities and different things, right? The one thing that I realized was I was always able to find another job. So I ended up having this abundance mindset, which was a good thing, but also I was like, man, the jobs that I'm taking, are these right for me? Is this the right opportunity? Because if there's a lot of transition, maybe I'm just jumping around and I need to be more thoughtful. Understanding that there is an abundance of people out there that are just like you, that are looking for the right person, that are trying to find the right people, makes you realize that you don't have to be in such a rush to grab the first thing that gives you attention. You want to be able to be patient and be open. And what I mean by be open is, it kind of takes me to my next point within this point, is your future and your relationship with the next person might look different than your past. The reason why I'm saying be open is because when Carly and I started dating, the qualities that she had, who she was, how she lived her life was like nobody that I had ever dated. And I took that for granted. And for the first year, I almost like took that as like kind of a negative, or like, I was like, this isn't the high highs and the low lows that I'm typically used to. I'm used to a little bit more toxic, a little bit more, argumentative or whatever. So I was like, man, this is kind of dull for a little bit, But then I realized as life got busier and as we spent more time together, I was like, this is so nice. It's so peaceful. I realized like how happy I was. It was like my family were like, you are so happy and like just a joy to be around. Not that I wasn't a joy to be around, but like they could feel the lightness that I had because I'm with someone who just brought that out of me, who brought that sense of peace. So it looked different than what I was used to in the past. Be open to things looking different. We see a lot of stuff on social media now, the whole cheesecake thing of, a man can't take you to Cheesecake Factory. And here's all the lists of the things that men and women have to do. Throw the lists aside to an extent and just be open. Find different people, meet different people, have what your top priorities are, your basic non-negotiables in mind. And if they align with those non-negotiables and there's some small things that it's like, okay, we need to work through, we need to kind of, come to an agreement on, don't always throw everybody out. Just make sure that the foundation is right. So you want to be patient. That takes time, and you want to be open instead of just discarding everyone. But also, where you don't want to be patient is if you know it's a dead end thing, time to let it rock, time to let it go. Because if not, that month is going to turn into a year, it's going to turn into 2 years, it's going to turn into a lot of other responsibilities that come along with it that you might not have wanted, you might not have anticipated, but now you're in something where you're like, I didn't want to be here. I didn't anticipate being here, but now I have to deal with some of the consequences of my actions of just being comfortable. You don't want that. So I hope that this message helped. Our word of the day really quick is quality. You want to choose quality over quantity. You want to choose quality in your decision making about who you're with. You want to make quality decisions about where you're going, where your future is going to be at. Think quality when you are getting into a relationship, when you are exiting a relationship. Think of quality of time with the things that you're doing. When it comes to accepting life where you are, think of, okay, is it a quality thing for me to accept life where I am, be in this hurt, or just do things that keep me stuck in the past? When you're embracing solitude, is it a quality thing for me to take time to improve myself, or is it more quality to just jump into, rebound relationships? When you're leading a healthy lifestyle, is it quality for me to get outside, to start work, to continue working out, to eat healthy foods, to do things that make me feel energized, or to just sit down, to go to my bad vices or anything like that? When you're staying patient, you're being open, is it quality for me to just try to find everything that I had already previously had that wasn't working? Or is it a quality thing for me to just really focus on the fact that my future might look different from my past, but as long as the foundation's there, there's a chance. So I hope that this episode helped. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll continue to do this together, and I will see you next time. Peace. Thank you all so much for watching the Chasing a Greater Vision podcast. If you like this podcast, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, send it to friends, use a carrier pigeon, do whatever you have to do. We hope that this inspires you to chase your greater vision in your life and for us to continually and consistently do it together.